Hello, my dear cute white lilies. Hope you're doing well. Now, I know I've written a lot of confusing things in the previous episodes, so let's clear all those confusion in this episode. Let's start it. Niskarsh said to Maanvi, and then if I go to India, how will I manage such a big company that I have to manage? Maanvi took a look at Niskarsh and said, yeah, the same company which is ruling everywhere, but your father is not aware that you are the owner of that company. And your company has branches in India as well. Why don't you handle them? Niskarsh averting his eyes, he said, I don't want Dad to know that it's my company. He'll be hurt, right? Sharnya was sitting completely calm and missed these talks of Maanvi and Niskarsh. She was looking out of the window and don't know in what thoughts she was lost. While discussing his family and lives, it doesn't occur to him that apart from Maanvi, there is someone else present in the car at this moment. His attention turned to Sharnya when he saw the beautiful face of Sharnya in the rearview mirror. He realized what was he doing. He discussed so much about his life, that too in front of an unknown girl. Niskarsh preferred to keep his life private, but then he realized that Sharnya is missing somewhere else. Niskarsh said in a slightly louder voice, Maanvi, your friend, has she become silent? Sharanya's attention went to Niskarsh and snapping out of her thoughts, she said, Huh? Maanvi also laughed and said, What happened to you? You have been sitting completely silent since then. Sharnya felt a bit awkward and said, nothing. I'm thirsty. Is there water? When Maanvi checked, there was a bottle in the car, but there was no water. Niskarsh looked around. There was a hilly area where they all were going for outing. After going a little further, he saw a small shop. He parked the car on the same side, came out and said, Both of you wait here. I'll bring a bottle of water now. And then Niskarsh moved towards that shop to get water from there. Now only both of them were left in the car. Sharnya said, Maanvi, I think I shouldn't have come here. Maanvi, why? Not having fun? Sharnya, it's not like that. Just something is not feeling right. I'm having a slight headache. Maanvi, then you sleep for a while. I'll wake you up when we reach. Sharnya, okay. Here Niskarsh was returning with a bottle of water. The shop was a short distance away on the other side of the road. He was just returning back when he saw a truck speeding towards his car. Looking at the truck, it seemed as if the driver had lost control. Seeing this, Niskarsh's eyes became big with shock. He threw the water bottles there and ran towards the car. But there was a little distance between the car and him. He was running, but before he could reach the car, that truck hit the car hard. Niskarsh screamed, Maanvi, Sharnya. A week later, in the hospital, a girl slowly opened her eyes. She still had pain in her head and arm. She tried to move. Hearing some noise, a guy came up to her and said, Hosh aa gaya tumhe? The girl said in her weak voice, You, Niskarsh? Niskarsh picking her up and making her sit, he said, Yeah, are you okay? The girl said, Yeah, I'm fine. Niskarsh, Maanvi, where's Maanvi? Niskarsh, Maanvi? You are Maanvi, the girl said in a confused state. What? Me? I'm Maanvi. Have you gone mad? I am Sharnya. Sharnya. There was no expression on Niskarsh's face at this time. He said in a flat tone, Sharnya is dead. You are Maanvi. Sharnya could not understand anything. She said, What are you saying? How can Sharnya die? I am Sharnya and I am alive. How can you make me Maanvi? Niskarsh showed the mirror in front of Sharnya and said, Are you sure now? You are Maanvi. Sharnya has died long ago. Sharnya saw her face in the mirror. She remained silent. it was not her face. This time, in the mirror in front of her was Maanvi. But how can this happen? She cried out. What is all this? My face. How can I be Maanvi? Why am I looking like her? I am Sharnya. I am Sharnya. Niskarsh put the mirror down and now, going very close to her face, holding her face tightly with his hands and gritting his teeth, said, "Don't scream. You were Sharnya. Now you are Maanvi. Now listen to me carefully. I lost Maanvi in the accident. And you lost your face. I have to fulfill Maanvi's last wish. She wanted me to fight for my rights, so I want my rights back. So now you, being Maanvi, will help me." Sharnya was in shock. She said, Maanvi? Maanvi's dead? Huh? Niskarsh spoke again. Sharnya is dead, and you are Maanvi. I'm not used to repeating myself again and again. Do you understand? Sharnya shuddered slightly after listening to the words of Niskarsh, but then she mustered up a little courage and said, But why should I help you? Niskarsh's grip tightened on her cheek and a sigh escaped her lips. Niskarsh said with anger in his eyes, "Because I have saved your life, and I have given you this face. So from now on, your life is mine. Now only I have right on you and your life. Do you understand?" Niskarsh had given his verdict. In an instant, Sharanya's whole life had changed. She lost her face, also lost her best friend, or should I say that her only friend. This trip was the worst trip of her life, where she had to lose her identity. Right from the time she had said yes to coming with Maanvi on this trip, something had not been right for her, and her gut feeling turned out to be absolutely correct. Sharanya cried, "Leave me, it hurts." Niskarsh released her cheeks and said, "Look, Sharanya, the sooner you accept this, the better it will be for you. Otherwise, I have many other ways to make you say yes. Now I'll leave. 2 days later, doctors will discharge you, and then we'll get married and go back to India." Sharanya was shocked and said, "Marriage? But why?" Niskarsh said in a soft tone, "Yeah, marriage. Because I want to take your full responsibility. Don't just want to use you. So you will help me, and in return, Mrs. Niskarsh Bedi's position is yours." Having said this, Niskarsh left from there, and Sharanya, she was staring blankly at the wall. Once more, she lifted the mirror and looked at her face. On seeing the face, a tear came out of her eyes and rolled down her cheek. She closed her eyes. She said in her heart, "What is my fate? Happiness is not in my destiny. Doesn't know with which pen God has written my fate. He takes me out of one trouble and puts me in another." Sharanya thought a lot. She didn't want to marry Niskarsh at any cost. In fact, she didn't want to get married. Since childhood, she had seen so many side effects of marriage that she had lost faith in marriage. But look at the game of fate. She had no other option but to marry Niskarsh. She just wanted to run away from all this. But just then, she saw Maanvi's smiling face in her mind. What an innocent face she had. Sharanya knew every small detail of Maanvi's life, and that was the time when Sharanya decided what to do. At night, Niskarsh came back to Sharanya's ward. Sharanya was awake. Niskarsh saw dinner was on the table only. She didn't even touch anything. Somewhere Niskarsh was also feeling bad for Sharanya. It was not her fault in all this. Just because Sharanya was also present in the car with Maanvi at the time of the accident, he was ruining her life. He was forcing her to marry without her consent. Niskarsh said in his cold voice, "Haven't you eaten yet?" Hearing his voice, Sharanya snapped out of her thoughts and looked at Niskarsh. She said, I'm ready to marry you. Niskarsh went to her bed and said with a devilish smirk on his lips, as if you have a choice, princess. You will have to marry me. And you don't have any choice. Sharnya, don't take it for granted that I'm getting married for you, Niskarsh. Today I'm alive, safe, and have this space only because of Maanvi. I know what happened to her, what happened in India. I also want to take revenge from her family. So yeah, I want to do all this for my friend. Niskarsh extending the plate of dinner in front of her, he said, and I am also doing this for my friend. Flashback ends. Well, that's it for today's episode. Please let me know in the comments whether you liked this episode or not. I'm waiting. And also share your thoughts about this episode in the comment section. Show dher sara pyar in the comment. And I'll be waiting for your response.